Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum,
I'm Sam.
and today we're having a look at Naked Grouse.
The Grouse. Alrighty, we're gonna just skip the usual lockdown crap straight into the review. Naked Grouse. This is related to the famous Grouse. I think this is a bit more of the premium version of it. It's still quite budgety though. How much was it? $50 or something?
$60.
$60, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not budget, but it's definitely not expensive.
No.
Now this is a blended malt Scotch whiskey, and basically it's called Naked for one, mostly because of the actual the bottle. Like there's no labeling, it's clean skin. The only kind of identification is on the neck and the actual like kind of imprint on the glass. But also because it uses quite a bit of first fill, so clean sherry Oloroso sherry casks. So that's why it smells like a
Sherry.
Abalur or something like that. Yeah, it smells amazing. It's in those barrels for about 6 months, which is a decent amount of time for first fill. But it's also a combination of other sherried whiskies already, such as Macallan, Glenrothes, stuff like that. I think there's more, but I can't remember them.
It's got some really good whiskies in it.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is pretty
That's what I
crazy
mean.
for $60, yeah.
So I think it's, from what I've heard, for the price, it's quite good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, initially, straight out the glass, it's just sherry. That's all you can really smell in this, to be honest.
Yeah, it's that overly ripe grapes and stuff. That
Yeah.
kind of like
just like fruits, dried fruits.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they're all sherry whiskies, and then they're going into a sherry cask. So
Yeah, exactly. All combined and then being
Yeah.
sherried again.
yeah, so it's just over. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if it's too sherried for me.
I mean, I like it. I think it's fine.
It smells nice, but I don't know if it's going to carry through on the palate, like that over sweet. Just
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like a big fan of the sherry hit. So like Endronic 12 is like a massive. I'm a massive fan of. So I don't mind like very sherry whiskeys, but yeah, I don't know. You never know how it's going to impact the way they do it. Does change things. And there are some funky bits to sherry finishing. You get that overly ripe fruit, which some people are not fans of. Like it can be too ripe, and become a bit like kind of funky, and I don't know. It reminds people of rotting fruit, not that kind of like dense sherry sweetness, but more of like decaying fruit.
Also get a malty funk in this as well.
Definitely getting the lowland Speyside kind of maltiness, the barley kind of funk.
Beyond those notes on the nose, there's not that much going on. It's just sweet malt, sherried malt that I'm getting. But
Getting I'm getting raisin toast or raisins on like bran crackers, but with like a reduction, like a grape. I don't know, like a kind of like sticky date pudding. I'm getting like dates, like that kind of caramelized, really, really rich, fruity kind of like overly ripe fruit sweetness. It's like dense with that kind of like cakey, malty kind of barley note. It's a lot of sherry.
there's a lot of sherry.
I don't mind it.
Oh, it's a little bit
It's a
bitey
bit
as well.
sharp, yeah. That's more my problem. It's not even the sherryness. It's just a bit sharp. I think like things like Abalur and stuff like that are more like developed and complex. This is a little bit. It's definitely you see the sherry impact, and it's nice. It's not. This isn't a bad whiskey, but it does taste a little bit more brittle. I guess is a word for it. I don't know.
Do we know what all the percents of like the alcohol that they put in? Like,
No.
because I swear most of them are over 40%, and this is 40%. So it's been watered down, which might impact all the flavors on it.
Yeah. Well, I guess the marrying stage of all these whiskies is 6 months. maybe that's not enough time for them to kind of completely, mellow out and become friends. Maybe it's not enough time. But look, it doesn't taste like disjointed. It just tastes a little bit brittle. It doesn't taste. It doesn't taste like a disjointed or fractured. It's just a little bit thinner than I was expecting because it smells so thick, like with that syrup sweetness.
Yeah, it also falls quite flat quite quickly as well.
Yeah. There's not a long finish. It tastes slightly not salty, but like I don't know. I don't know if it's salt or not. I don't know what it is. It's maybe just this slight that slight caramel note with the sticky date pudding kind of sweetness.
Yeah,
as if someone's added a bit of salt.
Yeah, there is that salty layer. The nose is kind of opening up a bit more as well. I'm getting more and more of those ripe fruits. Before I was just getting like the plain just sherry cask, but now I'm actually getting more raisins, more like maybe even apricots.
I'm getting like mandarin peel now.
Yeah, the zestiness from it.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
You spritz it in the air, kind of like you squeeze the peel, you get a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like super zesty or super citrusy. It's just got this slight, like juicy mandarin kind of note.
I mean, for $60 on the palate, especially, this is a bloody good whiskey.
Especially for sherry. Like sherry you don't get a ton of like cheap sherry scotches. You normally have to hit the $100 range.
Well, I mean, I was just expecting another generic
budget.
It's
nothing like
Scotch,
the budget ones we've been doing recently. It's completely just different step, different direction. I reckon. Definitely tastes higher quality. It tastes more dense, and it tastes a bit more cohesive in the way that like the flavors are. I don't know. It's just more rich, I guess. The other ones were kind of like they started at the same spot and kind of barely deviated, and this is like they started somewhere else. Yeah, they had different stuff to work with.
I want to see what this would be like at like 45, maybe even 50%.
I wonder if this would be really cool at a high
give it more body.
So, a cask strength naked grouse would be pretty cool. I reckon like because cask strength, like you get the Abalua Abanad and the cask strength sherry. It's just so interesting. It's like salted, like raisins and stuff. I don't know. It's just interesting. I reckon this could be really good. But I don't know.
I mean, this has some alcohol burn.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like a burn, but it's not alcohol burn. Because it's obviously not when it's only 40%. It's kind of like the same warmth that I get from a cask strength whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but.
No, I know what you mean. It's like I'm just getting that light spikiness that I get off, like just a light ethanol-y kind of spikiness, but not like not a chemically way, not like you can get with some budget scotches where it's like kind of this overarching just ethanol flavor. This has just got a kind of a weird spike to it. But it's not harsh.
No.
And the notes are so sweet and stuff, so it's like there's no unfriendly flavors in there unless you don't like sherry. If you don't like sherry, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Or sherry finished whiskies. If you don't like them normally, then this isn't gonna change your mind. It's got a lot of sherry in it. I like it a lot.
It's sherry on sherry.
Yeah.
Actually.
So I don't know. I reckon like
it's really not for $60. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Especially
toast,
if you
but like with like the bits of apricot and the raisins and stuff, some dates in there as well.
Yeah.
Drenched with a bit of like, I don't know,
honey.
I don't know if it's honey or if it's like golden syrup or something like that.
What is the difference? I've never had golden
honey's
syrup.
Obviously like honey the bees make it, but golden syrup I'm pretty sure is just like a
sugar or something.
Yeah, I think it's made from brown sugar. I think it's just so it has that
kind
maybe
of darker
the golden
flavor.
Syrup,
if that's the case.
I'm not getting that honey note that we were getting from the Dimples and the Glen Ross. We got it pretty heavily, which the Glen Ross is in this, but the honey isn't as pronounced as I normally find and stuff like this. But it's definitely very sweet, very overly fruity, overly ripe fruity. at least the malt funk isn't taking over, like you can see sometimes, but it's still there. So I think if you like your sherried stuff and you don't want to break the bank, this is a damn good. This is a good Scotch to have on your cart. I reckon you're not really gonna go too wrong with this one. Yeah. All right. So we'll probably call it done with this one. It's nice that we got a budgety Scotch that was a bit
actually
different.
Nice.
It was a lot nicer. It was a little bit different from the same stuff we've been doing, because the past few we've just been like, you know what, we could have just copy and pasted 80% of the review to a couple of different ones because they're tasted so similar. So I enjoyed this a lot more. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like this episode, leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.